عظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمسابنا بالحسين عليه السلام. During these days of sorrow, I would like to send my condolences to our time Imam, Imam Mahdi, and to all of you during the days of mourning.
Every one of our youths, mashallah, has talked about making a change for Islam. And when we hear those words, we think standing up at the UN or at a world conference. What we don't realize is that we make a change in the way we speak, dress, and hold ourselves in society. Due to all the different stereotypes and opinions about Islam, our one word in a classroom or our behavior on the street has such a big effect. The way we smile or the way we mourn, every one of these things has an effect. Rather it be a small effect or a big effect. It has an effect on the way people think of Islam. Now I know, you might think, how does one smile have an effect on the way people think of the Muslim community? The effect it has is a lot greater than you and I may be able to grasp. Yes, we all have heard more than enough inspirational speeches on how to make a change. That if we got a chance, we could say one in our sleep. But what we are going to discuss is how we can use history and our aima to learn to make a difference, be it in our family, community, or even our country. There are so many essential tools needed to be successful when making a change. There are knowledge, motivation, and the acts of Amr bil Ma'ruf, encouraging the good, and Nahi anil Munkar, discouraging the evil. Recently, negative thoughts concerning our faith have traveled across the world like wildfire. Due to the biased and stereotypical information the media has portrayed in our society, there are people that believe Islam is a religion that teaches inequality, violence, and hatred. We as firm followers of the Holy Prophet and his household, alayhi salam, know that this is not what Islam is. Rather, it is a peaceful way of life that guides us towards piety and righteousness. We are all educated about the teachings and beliefs of Islam, but what is greatly needed now is to transfer this to those who have been brainwashed by the media. The people that observe and listen to this are not at fault, but rather they're just not educated on the Islamic faith. Hence, naturally, they will put a label on all Muslims. With such little knowledge and only biased information, they presume that because you and I are Muslims, we support and encourage such behavior.
This isn't an exaggeration, as I have gone through many experiences in school. I have had many of my peers approach me and question my faith. Many are very curious and ask me questions to purely gain knowledge. However, there are a few individuals that question me about the context of the Quran and already strongly believe that Muslims are what they seem to be on TV. Very recently, I was confronted by a Roman Catholic that had spoke harshly and had told me what she thought of Islam. She had pointed out to me that many Muslims thought killing was the right punishment for those who didn't believe in our faith. However, I had realized that I did not want my words to contradict my actions. I did not want to support her theory by reacting in an aggressive manner. I took time to explain to her that even I personally am not that knowledgeable on the details of the Quran, but I do know for a fact that we do not support the murder of innocent men, women, and children. In the midst of trying to defend Islam, I did not have all the tools necessary to defend it in the best way I could. At this point, I would like to mention how vital it is for us to follow in the footsteps of the Ahlul Bayt and spend our lives constantly learning and educating ourselves. If I was more educated on this topic, I could have persuaded this Catholic more effectively that Islam is not what she thinks it is.
As you can see, just the way Attiya spoke to this girl shows a clock of a Muslim. Her one conversation may have changed that girl's perception of Muslims from being violent to being humble. It is one thing to behave at a dinner party because you represent your parents, but it is another to behave every day of your life because you and I are an example of Islam. The way we speak to a person could attract or drive them away from our faith. It is our duty to follow in the footsteps of our imams. Enjoining the good and forbidding the evil is also a very strong aspect. If we all decide to follow these two concepts, we would have the potential to make a massive impact on the world through our voice and our actions.
Imam Hussein alayhi salam has said, "It is not permissible for a believing eye to watch Allah being disobeyed and close without first changing the situation." This is one of the reasons why Imam Hussein alayhi salam made the sacrifice he did on the plains of Karbala. Our Imams have also taught us a lot about this throughout their lifetimes. The most common example is of Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Constructively correcting an old man doing his wudu wrong. When the two Imams witnessed an elderly man performing his wudu wrong, it was their duty, as the Imams of the time, to correct him. However, it didn't mean to forget the respect that the old man deserved. The two Imams decided to pretend to have a dispute among themselves. They asked the old man to judge each of their wudus and tell them who it was that was performing it right and who it was that was performing it wrong. After watching the two young Imams doing their wudu, the man realized that it was really him who was mistaken and who was performing his wudu wrong. He was thankful to both Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein alayhi salam for correcting him. This story demonstrates Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahy anil Munkar.
The Imams fulfilled their responsibility, but also made sure that they did not insult the man in any way. Thus, it is very important that we follow these two aspects of Islam, but not forgetting the importance of respect and kindness while doing so. It astonishes me to think of the power in our speech. We're just kids, and all we talk about is the latest Abbas style or the recent NBA game, when we could be using our voice for something that would make a difference in the thoughts and actions of others.
Before we end, we would like to thank the community for giving us an opportunity to share our thoughts before you all. Thank you very much.